Here we go. Welcome to the transformative journey in trading excellence. Thank you for joining us at NP Financial exclusive May 2024 Trader Masterclass, and we'll all unlock our full potential in the world of trading. We'll start. It will be I hope you can hear me well and you can see my screen. Yes, yes.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, good.
Very good. Excellent. Fantastic. So we'll start with, as usual, it will be a tremendous not only informative but also conversational, I would say. So you will talk more than we speak, myself, Marty, and Kerry. Kerry will have a tremendous presentation of not only presentation but actually real live examples. I was very inclined to make it a live podcast or a Facebook live, but I did not get time to get permission from Kerry and Marty. So I parked that to next month. So maybe we go for a live podcast or Facebook live maybe. For the time being, it is not there. The podcast has not started, and the Facebook live is also not on. So as usual, we'll take all your questions. We'll take all the questions through chat, through support at nbfinancials.com.au, or you unmuting and asking questions. So you will ask, you'll talk more, we'll listen, and then we'll learn more together. The first question comes from Tyron, and the question, I'll bring it in front of you. If you is writing, and two have breached right shoulder's extended resistance. Is this worthy of examination at Sunday meeting? Yeah, definitely. Why not? All right. So this is the chart in front of you. Before I can add 2 cents, I probably request you to give your understanding on the normal head and shoulder on sterling GBP USD on a daily chart. And this is the recent chart in front of you. Tyron, send it to us. This is the head highest swing high. Those of you who are practicing head and shoulder now, I know most of you are doing it now. And this is the Tyron is doing remarkable job. Dario is also fantastic job. So this is the highest swing high after an uptrend. So the prerequisite or the context of this normal head and shoulder is it has to appear at after an uptrend. So this is the after an uptrend, and then this is the highest swing high at around 129. And to the right hand side, we got another swing high, which is the right shoulder, which is much be lower than the head. And on the left hand side, you may argue with why Tyron selected this one. It can be this one or this one, but at NP Financials we generally prefer what Tyron has done. What we generally prefer the nearest head, nearest left shoulder, nearest swing high to the head, like this one. Otherwise, we'll be confused whether to take this one or this one or this one or this one with this one. So many. So we have done a standardization. So we'll take the first nearest swing high to the right and nearest swing high to the left. So this is the nearest swing high and this is the nearest swing low. And in between the left shoulder and the head, we must have one at least swing low, which is this one. And same for the right shoulder. Between the head and the right shoulder, you must have one, at least one. This is also one. So at least one. We'll go to the lowest one. And that's what Tyron has done. And he has named it as Class A. Why this is Class A? Anyone? Why this is Class A? Class A head and shoulder, please unmute and talk. If you have already forgotten, tell me, Pog. Sorry, I have forgotten.
Because it appears at the first on the uptrend, like after the uptrend.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what Girija said. If the neckline, if the neckline is in the direction of the trend, so the previous trend is up, and the neckline is also pointing up. So that is why it is Class A divergence. And our job is to drop a vertical line segment, actually vertical segment from this height to the neck line, and then copy that. That's what he did on 8th of March. and copy that when the neckline is broken by the price by 1 pip. So this is the correct one, not this one, but this is the correct one, Taran. And you have got the projected profit target here. And we say as a rule, we have many rules like rule of four, it can break one, it cannot break two, so on and so forth. We have a rule for head and shoulder at NP Financials is this line, the head to the right hand shoulder line, trend line, must not be broken. The head to the right hand shoulder neck line must not be broken to the upside. If it is broken to the upside, then we'll delete all entire structure. Then that means what? If the price is going breaking this and going up, then it will be actually null and void. This head and shoulder will be negated. All right. So having said that, every one of us can see the interaction of price at this point with the line, which is the all important lines. There are so many lines on the head and shoulder, but this is the most important line. So this line has been interacted with the price. Price has interacted with this line at this point, and Tyron is asking a question. Support team, please advise, is trade negated here in spite of target being achieved? So before I add 2 cents, who can answer this question? Who would like to answer this question? Including Tyron himself or Ben. We are missing. Yeah, go.
I I think I've subsequently found the answer, but let somebody else.
Okay, brilliant. Tyron is waiting for anyone else answer. So I'm the third. First is you. Anyone? Second Tyron, then me.
Yeah,
If I
it's
get the answer.
Arthur. Is it if you have a break above the line, then you have a close above that candle, then it is negated.
Yeah, I hope everyone understood what Ben said. So if this is if any close is below above, Ben, have I understood correctly? You are saying not this one, but any close beyond this blue candle is a negation. Is that what you were saying, Ben?
Yeah, that's correct, Arthur.
Okay, very good. So Ben has replied. Anyone wants to refresh their understanding of head and shoulder, which was in module 2, unit 2 of Trader Foundation? If not, I know Vijayata can't speak because she is in a chamber, from her medical chamber and in a phone. And I know we are missing Andrew. All right, Tyron, go ahead.
Is there an evening star?
Tyron said evening star. Ben said it has to close above. Anyone else? Exactly. I'm looking for exactly our rule of. I want rule of 4. Yeah. So Tyron, to answer your question, most of your answers are correct. Ben, thank you, and Tyron, thank you. But the exact answer is we have to wait for the rule of 4. So what the rule of 4 at NB Financial says, if this has to negate, this is because this is a big structure. Look at this fellow, which has got started from 26th of February and went up to 8th of April. From 26th of February to 8th of April is a big time, mate. Almost 1 month and 1 fortnight, 45 days. So it's a big structure. It's a big structure at trading for GBP USD. So that's why we have. Otherwise, the breakouts are 70% fake outs. But at NP Financials, what we have done, we have converted that fake outs into high probability trade setups. Alert trader for Sterling, for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing good. All right. Anyway, so a rule of 4 says it has to touch. It means the bar or the candle. The bar or the candle has to touch the line which it has done, and then it has to close above, which in this case has happened. This candle has closed above the line. And the third rule says, Dario, if I have not yet informed you about the rule of 4, don't worry, it will come in subsequent modules and units, so you can listen to me now. So, and the third is preferably this is a bullish bar, which is it is a bullish candle because the close is greater than the open. The last thing, that is where we have our proprietary indication, and our 70% breakouts are actually successful. The last point in the rule of 4 is this high to be taken out. which Ben has actually gone one step further, that close, not close is required. If this high is taken out by this subsequent high by 20 points or 10 points, then we will delete entire thing. And the answer to this question, Tyron, is no, it is not negated because it has not done the rule of 4 on this bar. Did I answer your question, Tyron?
Yeah.
Fantastic, brilliant. Anyone having any observation on this chart before I go and show you many other head and shoulder, fantastic head and shoulders, which has happened in last 2 weeks and is what is happening now as we speak? If not, then dedicate this 10-15 minutes. Let us dedicate this and extend this query from Tyron, which was a fantastic query. So now let's go to the head and shoulder, which got tremendous success in the recent past and been captured in our asset class evaluations in shares and indices. So let me show you. We are missing Gautam also today. Right. Andrew's daughter's birthday today. So anyway, let it come when it comes. So what happened is, as you can see, it is imperative that you must go to these asset class evaluations and trade ideas along with your instruction based discussions, in which we discuss A to Z, but these are additional. So you must go to, whenever you get time, you must go to this asset class evaluations under different asset classes like Forex, commodities, bond, indices, shares, cryptocurrencies, and see what we are posting. And we have been doing this for the last 8 or 10 years. And we are extremely proud that whatever we write, 80% of the time in front of you comes and happens in the future. So what we wrote on 29th of March for Facebook, when it was trading at 498, we said that it is going to go up to 478. That is our first target. Similarly, for the NVIDIA, we had our first target on 21st of April at around, at this point, 724, when it was at 857. Same structure, head and shoulder. See, this is head and shoulder, like Tyron sent us. This is head and shoulder. This is the head. This is the right shoulder. This is the left shoulder. And this is a swing high, and neckline. Same thing. Head, right shoulder, left shoulder, swing low, swing low. Sorry, this is also swing low, swing low, swing low, swing low, and then neckline. And then this is the one target. Same thing, head. So Microsoft. This is Microsoft. We predicted that it is going to go down from 413 to 403 on 21st of April in our client arena. And this is the head, right shoulder, left shoulder. This is the swing low, and neckline. And this is the profit target. We have first profit target, and if it goes down, second target and third target. Similarly, we had for Cochlear on 21st, because we saw everything before 21st. I think 21st was a Saturday, Sunday. We got some time to post. So this is the head, right shoulder, left shoulder, and the swing low, and neckline. This is the first target. So many of them. Amazon was not a head and shoulder case. It is a candidate for the double top. So double top was coming from after it has done a tremendous uptrend. And at the end of the trend, not only how do I know that this is the end of the trend? At NP Financials, we generally say it has to appear at the top right hand corner. When the date was the 16th of April, when the date was 16th of April, at that time it has to appear at the top right hand corner. So then in that case we can say this is a swing high, this is a swing high, this is the swing low in between, A class double top, and our target is there. And then of course we had Google, same swing high, swing low. Anyone, any question so far? Now we'll see what happened after 21st of April. On 28th of April, just after 7 days of our capturing the head and shoulder, Meta, that is Facebook, not only hit our first target, it also hit our second target and third target. We identified this at Meta when it was at 500, 495. We said that it is going to go down and hit our first target, 390. It did hit, and the second target was at 440. It did hit that, and the third target was 400, and it did all the 3 targets. Same thing happened for the Amazon. Amazon hit our first target and second target. What does it mean? It means that, and then this one is Microsoft. Microsoft also hit our first target and second target. And look at the magic. After hitting just the second target, it bounced back. Same thing for Amazon. It hit as if it was falling. Exactly that happens. Not as if exactly this was what happened. Not only us at Infinite Financials, but the entire trading community, especially the professional ones and the supercomputers at Goldman Sachs and Citibank, are actually seeing this structure because of only one reason, because price is a plot of human emotions of greed and fear, and Kerry knows it 1,000 times better than me. And these special characteristics of human being, which is there in the limbic brain, the greed and fear, has not changed for last 20,000 years. 20,000 years, our limbic brain has not developed much. So for that reason only, these patterns are so successful most of the time. And those of you like Ben, Andrew, and many others, and Tyron now, those of you who has done the pattern study, 300, 500 of them, know the success rate of this head and shoulder. And you can see that not only on shares, but if you go to an indices, we wrote for indices that the ASX is going to go down, and S&P 500 is going to go down, and US 100 is going to go down. And what happened after 7 days, from 21st to 28th, S&P 500 hit our first target from 5,175 to 5,050, around that. So it hit our first target exactly as per our head and shoulder. Similarly, for the ASX, this is the head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Thank you, Tyron, for actually asking these questions on a tremendous pattern called head and shoulder. If you do 300 sample identification of this in your back testing or in your practice task, you will see that head and shoulder is actually successful 75% of the time. Even if we lose 25% of the time, the net win is 50%, 75 minus 25. Similarly, Nasdaq fall from 18,000 hour level to 17,300. All the three in our indices actually hit. So this was the case from 21st to 28th. Now let me show you the live examples of the head and shoulder which is forming now. All right, for that, I will take this one. Let me take this one and then duplicate this chart. And Ben was surprised to know that there is a difference between our end of day and a 24-hour structure, 24-hour chart. Anyone who can tell me what is the difference between daily and end of and say 24 hours chart? We generally know that one day is equal to 24 hours, isn't it? Tell me now, what is the difference between a daily chart and a 24-hour chart at IG markets? Okay, this is open-ended question. So please take your time, which is 90 seconds maximum, and then answer. So I'll make this as 24 hours. Anyone? If not, then Ben can say. Ben?
Yeah. So as we were discussing on Friday, Partha, that I was unaware. I was looking at the Amazon chart, trying to understand in the client area why the call was for a head and shoulders, and I was using a daily chart. I've always used just a daily chart, but when you change to the 24-hour chart, it's just taking into account the New York exchange, not New York, London, and Asia on the whole candle structure, bar structure. If I did get that correct, Partha.
Absolutely spot on. So Ben and I was saying this one. This is a 24-hour chart, and this is known as all sessions. All sessions, the English word says all sessions with an S at the end. That means what? New York, London, and Australasian, exactly as Ben said. This is the structure for Amazon. Those of you who are seeing the one-day chart, they will see this chart of Amazon. If you see the daily chart. Now, we gave a trade idea in our client arena regarding this Amazon, which Ben said that the call saying that Amazon 24-hour. So everyone would think that 24-hour means day, but we have not said it that daily. So we said 24-hour head and shoulder. So Ben asked this question, and then in the daily chart, all sessions daily chart, there is no head and shoulder here, as Ben rightly pointed out. If I go to 24 hours, generally this is the head and shoulder. How good is that? How many of you got stunned seeing this difference, including me and Ben? Anyone having any observations? How good is this inverted
yeah.
head and shoulder? Okay, so
Interesting
this is
one,
the
yeah.
client arena. Go.
No, I was thinking 24 and day are always the same.
That's what. That's why the saying goes that whatever we see through our naked eye may not be true always.
Yeah.
Oh my God, unbelievable. You like the structure, Danuka, on the head and shoulder on the 24 hours Amazon,
Yeah.
which was missing entirely on the daily chart, isn't it?
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. Just to put 2 cents on what Ben already said. Ben said everything correct, except he probably forgot to add that 24-hour sessions not only covers the New York and the London and the Australasian session, but also covers our great friend IG Markets uh, book order book. So all the big brokers, whether it is Dukas Copy, in which Tyron is having a friend, he went to Geneva to get trained by Dukas Copy. He was not happy with our training, right, Tyron? That
Yeah.
was it. When did you go to Geneva to get trained on Dukas Copy, which was number one then?
That was in March 2012.
Oh wow, March 2012. He went to Geneva.
Frederick Charles was the general manager at that time.
Oh, Frederick.
Frederick Charles.
Okay, that's great.
He was in charge of Dudascopy at that time.
Did you meet Frederick?
I met him. I
Okay.
met him, but
How was Frederick then?
I don't know what's happened to him now. I don't know if he's still there or what. I think he has moved on.
Fantastic. So whether it is Dukas Copy or Saxo or IG Markets or Go Markets, more or less, all of them are market makers. What does it mean? Market maker means they have their own order book. What does it mean? Own order book means what? If order book means they create their own liquidity to themselves, not to themselves, for their client. They create their own liquidity. When the liquidity providers are not giving the liquidity, they create their own liquidity from their order book. All right. So they, in that case, they may go against or for you. Forget about that. In the meantime, let me show you wonderful feedbacks we got from Girija. The day I started from trading sessions with NP Financial, so was greatly about trading. Greek about trading, but by the way, Partha teaches the course with strategies, exception. You can read this. Similarly, we got a tremendous review from Kim. And do you know Kim gets all the free tickets to AFL, all the matches? Unbelievable. He's such a wonderful photographer. He gets all the tickets for all the games, right, Kim?
What happened?
Yeah, Kim probably is mute or not yet to join. All right. Kim wrote, after trading ad hoc for approximately 20 years, I reconnected with Partha now and did. Similarly, Gautam, Big, everyone. And Tyron had a tremendous last week review. So I request all of you to give us reviews, whatever you feel like, and then it will be a tremendous help for the business. And thank you in advance to those of you who are thinking of writing and review. And Tyron wrote a fantastic one. I can't share this one here. Maybe maybe in Trustpilot or something like that. Anyway, so you can write NPF Trustpilot review, Trustpilot reviews. I just wanted to show you what Tyro wrote, as Kim wrote that He got connected after 12 or 20 years. Okay. And Tyron was here. Alishran Tyron. Yeah, this is Tyron. The first paragraph is important. I have completed robotic forex trading course in Queensland in 2010. That's what Tyron is writing. A diploma forex trading course in Sydney in 2021, 2011, and an introduction to Dukascopy trading platform in Dukascopy, Geneva. All right. So thank you for that, Tyron, Kim, and Girija. So similarly, we had a difference between a daily and a 24 hours chart for the Tesla. So I wanted to show you the structures which is happening now. So this is the one which is happening now as we speak. It's probably with our 80% probability of success for the last 8 years, this Amazon from 186.26, it is going to go up to 200. All right. The next one which is forming is the our own Aussie dollar after getting hammered to 63, 64 cents. Aussie dollar in 24 hours has a tremendous head and shoulder here. This is the inverse headstand. We call it headstand, inverse head and shoulder. So this is the head, right shoulder, left shoulder, swing high, beautiful. And the profit target is around here, 68. So Amazon is one, Aussie dollar is second. And let me see the other one. I saw many of them actually. Let me show you one by one. Yeah. So this is the another one. Those of you who are neglecting head and shoulder, or those of you who are doing this practice task on head and shoulder, this is a tremendous input to you. This is the head and this is the right shoulder. Look at the difference between head and right shoulder, only 5 bars. So head, right shoulder, and this is the swing high to swing high, and this is our price profit target. And already actually euro USD has hit our target from 106.59 to 108. Yeah, so it has already hit our target. And coming back to the shares, so I'll go to Microsoft all sessions. See, it is written all sessions. So Microsoft, again, we have a structure here. This is the head. After getting the profit target from the normal head and shoulder, we have an inverse head and shoulder, which is headstand. The person is standing on his head. So market is standing on its head. So this is the head of the market, and right shoulder and left shoulder. And this is who is the I think he has just started. Sarabpreet, I think Sarabpreet is doing the study on the swing high, swing low, and he saw this outside bar, and he was asking whether this is a swing high as well as a swing high as well as a swing low. We said yes. For a outside bar, it can be a swing high and it can be a swing low. The swing low creates the so swing low creates the head.
Alert trigger.
And, oh, Bitcoin. Sorry. These Middle East people, they are trading because they start on Saturday, Sunday. They are weak starter of Saturday. They are oil rich, gold rich people. Many princes are there. Many kings are there in Saudi Arabia, Dubai. They are trading Bitcoin, and that is why Bitcoin is saying order trigger. Sorry, alert trigger. Anyway, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder, and this is the left shoulder, and the same bar is the neck is the swing high to swing high. And then we have a target here for Microsoft. So Microsoft here gave some points here. How many points? So let's go to this fellow and then bring it here. And all right, and go to this scale. So while coming down, Microsoft gave us merely 3,202 points in 1 week. And now while going up, Microsoft, we are expecting to give us, if we are not incorrect, we may be. So 4,370 points. Time frame is not known. For time frame, you can take advantage of our Fibonacci course, which is for 1 month, and we'll talk about Fibonacci time frame also. So this is Microsoft in front of you. Amazon I showed you. What else you want me to show you? I have to take the questions from Girija. Facebook. The last one I want to show you is Facebook, if my memory is correct. Yeah, Facebook is a tremendous one. This is the, while coming down, Facebook gave us a profit of 9,929 points for 100 shares. We always take 100 shares. So 99.29 multiplied by 100 is 9,929 points for 100 shares, and going up. While going up, we are expecting, if we consider this as the head and shoulder, or this as the head and shoulder, so this fellow will give us around 9,500 if it is going and hitting our targets, which has been happening 80% of the time for last 8 years. Not 8 days, not 8 weeks, not 8 months, but for 8 years. I'll take the question from
Can I ask a question,
Go.
Partha, in relation to those share ones?
go.
With Forex, we do look out for things like the FOMC meeting, CPI figures coming out of America. With shares, are we wary of the earnings seasons reports that come out, such as Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, that came out in the last couple of weeks, where we had these such huge bars that appeared? If we had a head and shoulders set up that was ready to trigger, but there was an earnings report to come out the next day, would you be wary about taking the trade?
Good question. Fantastic question. And the earning report for the Facebook came here on 24th of April. Let's go back before 24th April, which is this one. 23rd of April. How many people, except Ben, including me, how many people, including me, are aware of the exact date when this company called Microsoft is releasing their earning report? Honestly speaking, I don't know. My first answer to this question is I don't know. Now it is up to you. How many of you can raise your hand and tell me that you really know this date? First of all, we don't know the date. We don't care about the date. And Ben, with due respect to Ben's question, let's answer the question what Ben asked. What would you do if you know the earning report is coming on 24th of April? What would you do if the setup is there on 23rd of April, which has already hit the first target? Did I understood your question correct, Ben?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'd just be wary whether such a large move could whipsaw you in and out of the trade in that one session.
Very good. So let's go to our share trading and try to answer Ben's question on Microsoft. This is our share trading module in front of you. And this is Tesla. And we go to Microsoft. And this is Microsoft in front of you on a 2-day chart. And we have the signal to go down. Our strategy is telling us to go down at this point because of this red histogram. So we have gone short on 12th of April, and the earning due was on 24th of April. So to answer your question, Ben, whatever I have observed in last 14 years is, with or without the news, whether it is non-farm payroll or earning, generally speaking, it actually it increases our profit rather than getting out us at the stop loss, because our stop loss was here and then we got a profit here. But unless and until Ben is having a solid point, unless and until you know that this is coming, then while you were running at the profit of 2,552 points, at the same bar, you are now running with a loss of 1,000 points. But eventually, you can close the trade here, and as in this case, around 1,500 points profit. Yeah. Ben, to answer your question, yes, it is better to be aware of the dates. And if you are aware of the dates, then please go to, maybe we don't suggest this one, but just to answer your question, may go to the 1 hour and then see what is happening on that 1 hour session in which the earning result is being declared. But all said and done, I can assure you that with technical analysis, our earnings or fundamentals news, for example, Donald Trump getting elected or anyone for that matter, fundamental and earnings and any other news actually enhances our position, which was taken according to technical analysis. All right. So having said that, this is a experience which is coming from 14 years. And then having said that, what you can do is you can go to 24th of April and then make it 1 hour or 4 hour. And if you are 24th of April, and if you are watching this market, you saw this gap, when the earning came, and then you wait for this either to continue, either to see this whether it is an all sellers out or not, or you can wait for a turning point or a reversal signal in a lower time frame like 1 hour and get out there. So did I answer your question, Ben?
You did. Thank you, Partha.
Fantastic, brilliant. All right. So now we'll go to Vijayata's question, what she is asking us. And Vijayata is asking, could you please show examples of the 12-hour high probability setup for long and short for any currency pairs? I will take this one. How to identify possible next week's short-term trend? I will leave it to Marty. Marty, if you kind enough to write it down. Vijayata is asking about dollar index and Aussie dollar and GBP, sterling and euro. So please write this four. If you can, please answer her question, because I'm running out of time. I have only 2 minutes. Could you please I'll show this one to Vijayata. First question, could you please show examples of 12-hour high probability setups for long, short for any currency pair for the last week? All right, so let's go to 12-hour setup and see the setup for the high probability. She is writing high probability. So for that, what we'll do, we'll go to file and then 12-hour. We can close this 4 hours. We can close this 1 week because she is asking about specific question on 12-hour and high probability setup. So this is 12-hour, yeah, in front of us. So this is 12-hour in front of us. According to the strategy, it will look like this. We have a bar chart as well as a line chart. This is our line chart on the right hand side. So Vijayata, to answer your question, this is the trade setup last week which came for Aussie dollar. And your question is whether this is a high probability trade setup or not. I would say yes, because this is a 2TP. This is not only a sample setup, but also a 2 turning point. Those of you who do not know or who are not yet there in the modules and units, what is a turning point? It will come in due course. So this is a turning point because this one has touched the blue line. And if I keep the cursor here on the line chart, we have a histogram on the turning point. So this is a 2TP. 2TP turning point hitting our target of 96 minus 10, 86 points, 86 pips. In Forex, we call it pips in 4 bars. So that is a high probability trader setup, Vijayata. And then I'll go to euro to see whether it is a high probability trade setups or not. What are high before that, let me tell you what can be denoted as a high probability trade setup. In our way, NP Financial's proprietary way, 2 OBS, 2 overbought or 2 oversold, one on the line chart, one on the bar chart, or on the divergence line. So that can be 2 OBS, overbought or overshot can be high probability. Similarly, 2 TP can be high probability. So we saw in Aussie dollar, that was a 2 TP. So that was a high probability trade setup. So this one is only LCTP. This is a standard setup according to our blue and blue. So this is a standard setup, and this is only LCTP. If you can see here, the line chart is having a turning point, not the bar chart. Bar chart turning point happens here, one chart after that, and we got our target at 67 points for euro dollar. So this is the second high low, not low actually, medium probability. And then let's see sterling. So to answer your question, Vijayata, there is no high probability trade setups here. To answer your question, Vijayata, I would say write it down again. Although we have already discussed this one, write it down again. That 2 OBS, 1 plus 1, 2, OBS, overbought or oversold, and then 2 TP, 1 TP on the bar chart, 1 TP on the line chart, and then LCTP. So these are the high probability trade setups. This is the 2 TP setup in front of you. This bar, we cannot take this one because this is blue. So this is red and red. So as per our strategy, we have to take this one, and this is matching with your turning point. We must say that at NP Financials, we give tremendous weightage to this turning point, and we can say that without turning point, we have yet to see a market reversal. So whether it is uptrend going to downtrend or downtrend coming to uptrend, there must be a turning point. So this is our definition, mathematical definition of turning point. So this is a possible high probability trade setup, Vijayta. So I showed you Aussie and GBP CHF. Let me select this one, GBP AUD, as the last. GBP AUD again had a 2 TP, yeah, 2 TP setup on this one, Vijayta. So this way you can identify yourself, write it down, 2 OBS, 2 TP, LCTP. It is already there in our modules and units. And this way you can identify the high probability trade setups. And your next question will be taken out by our next trader, our senior trader at NP Financials, Marty. Thank you all. Marty, thank you. Your time now.
Hello all, how are we? Thanks,
Good.
Partha.
Good, Marty. How are you?
You're doing quite well there.
Thank you. You can share your screen.
Yep, sharing screen. So, window, entire screen. We will go for this screen right here. So I think Vijayata was also asking about the Euro Aussie.
Yeah.
For a high probability setup. So I don't have the module loaded up on my on this fellow here on the IG markets, but what I can see at the moment, we have this left shoulder, head, and our right shoulder here. Okay, so back in time, this would have been the top of the chart where we would have seen this shoulder, head, and shoulder. Okay, we've crossed this trend line here, so our target was down here. Okay, so we've got our neckline here. We did break above, but we didn't get that rule of 4. Okay, so there's still a lot of time for us to get to this potential target zone here of our head and shoulder setup for our Euro Aussie. I know it's a weekly time frame, but it might be a bit stronger than your 12-hour time frame that you were looking at. Let me know if that was something you were interested in there, Vijayata.
Vijayata is in phone, so she can't speak. He has to chat.
Okay, well, hopefully that was helpful in some way.
Vijayata saying yes. Vijayata saying yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so just quickly, she also asked about the Aussie. Again, on the
Marty?
weekly,
Rakesh is
Marty?
saying, can you please show daily?
the daily, on the
Yes,
Euro
Vijayata.
Aussie.
Yes, that's what Vijayta is asking into the chat.
Okay,
Marty, can you zoom out, please?
I can zoom out.
Vijayata also saying yes, please.
Can't see.
Okay, zoom out more or zoom in?
Zoom in.
Zoom in.
Zoom in, yeah.
Okay, this was that neckline on the weekly. Okay, it looks different here on the daily, but here on the weekly was our high, and we didn't close above it. Okay, so this is still a neckline, and we still have our target zone on the weekly down here. If we go back to our daily, this here can be looked at a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So this is a potential impulsive wave down, letting us know that we can still go down quite some more just yet. Okay. So this will be part of a much larger cycle. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And then we're going to have another wave count down here below this guy here. I apologize, I don't have the indicators set up on my IG markets at the moment, but that's what I have on my MT4.
Vijay, thanks is thanking Marty for explaining this.
No problem. I hope I could shed some light there. For today, one thing I wanted to go over was this here, the Wall Street cheat sheet. Okay, so this gives us an idea of the waves that we see in our markets and what the emotions are behind them. Okay, so we have hope, disbelief, optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria. Okay, and it's all, see how it like balloons up like this? And then we have complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, and all this. Okay, so next I have another diagram which sort of explains it. And again, we have a takeoff where we've just seen our first little impulsive wave here. We've had a sell-off. We have our big wave 3, again with enthusiasm and greed. And a new paradigm here. Okay. So if we keep all this in context, we put them together, and we can see something like this. This is something which was on Yahoo Finance not long ago, just a diagram of what their opinion is of what we are seeing on the Wall Street cheat sheet. Okay, so they think we've hit a new paradigm here. We've seen a lot of greed and delusion, and maybe things are getting a little bit sad. Okay, so what I would like to show is if I bring up this guy here, and I will bring up my NASDAQ, and I'll make it bigger so we can all see. And I'll make this a monthly chart. I'll zoom in. Okay, so now when we look at this, does this look like our enthusiasm and greed here? All this here. And then we got something even sharper here, a bit more greed. Okay. So if we go back here, is this looking something like this?
This is brilliant stuff, Marty. Good job.
Okay. So what else I would like to show is we've got all this greed and delusion, and the market is very much pretty extreme like this. Okay, so it's like a big parabolic move like this. And we're way above this 200 moving average. Okay. So another one we want to look at. We've had this guy, Warren Buffett. He's very influential. He has a lot of followers everywhere. So he has come up and he cuts his Apple investment by about 13%. Okay. So when we look at the NASDAQ, it's comprised of these 100 companies here. Okay, all these companies make up your NASDAQ on your index. So we go right up the top of the list, Apple is number 2, and it has almost an 8% weighting on the NASDAQ. Okay. So even though these 100 companies make up the NASDAQ, they're all weighted differently accordingly. So it'll be mostly Microsoft, then Apple, then Nvidia, and it gets smaller and smaller. Okay. So then when we take that into context, we can go to our Apple chart. So again, all this euphoria, all this greed, and if this is something to consider, if it's delusion, it's very possible that we could be starting to see something like this. Okay, we're starting to move back down in the cycle. Again, so he's a very influential person. We've seen all the greed in the markets. So that could be a trigger for something to come. Okay. How much time do I have left there?
Your
Okay.
time, Deep. Yeah, go on, continue this.
Okay. So that's with the NASDAQ. I think keep a very strong eye on that with Apple. And just tell me if you want me to move on, Partha, because I could go through a lot of stuff here if you
Yeah,
really want
continue.
to.
I'll stop you when Kerry would start.
Okay. So everyone's aware of the amount of debt in the US at the moment. So in the US, they're in a lot of debt because they need to print money to be able to keep their economy going. Okay, so just of this month here, we've reached $34 trillion of debt. Okay, US government debt. And again, we can see all this greed and enthusiasm happening here. Okay. And we go, what is the debt to GDP ratio? So that is the debt to GDP ratio is a metric comparing a country's public debt to its gross domestic product. Okay, so that means how much debt they need to be able to keep their economy going, essentially. So by comparing what a country owes with what it produces, so it's said right there. So the debt to GDP ratio reliably indicates that particular country's ability to pay back its debts. So our debt to GDP ratio looks like this. So from 1970, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And this fifth wave here looks like it might be just about finished as well. Might go up a little bit more just yet. It looks like it's coming to an end with, again, a lot of greed and stuff in here. Good versus bad debt. A study by the World Bank found that countries whose debt to GDP ratios exceed 70% for long periods experience significant slowdowns. Okay, so when there's a lot of debt, they want to increase interest rates, and that will slow the economy down, especially if it's done for prolonged periods. Okay, so I know I'm moving pretty quick, but this is just the gist of what's happening without getting too silly about it all. Okay. 5 ways governments reduce national debt. We have bonds, we have interest rates, spending cuts, raising taxes, bailouts, and or default. So you have your election coming up at the end of the year. We have raising taxes. Okay. This is from the White House a month ago. The president's budget cuts taxes for working families, making big corporations and the wealthy pay for tax, and it's pretty extensive, where the big corporations paying a lot more tax, and people earning more than $400,000 per year getting taxed a lot as well, and they're getting rid of a lot of subsidies. Okay, so when they're taxing the big money, that means they're going to be saving a lot more money. Okay, so the taxes are going up a lot. See all these subsidies going for real estate, oil, gas, cryptos, and all this. It's a big read. And we come back here, interest rates. So this is your 10-year treasury bonds. Greed, fear. Interest rates have come down all this time. Okay, just after the 70s and the start of the 80s. And that was our time when we come back here. When our markets, the 70s and 80s, if I had more data, we'll show the start of all this here. Okay, all this greed and fear in this market. Okay, so when we come back here, this is coming down, meaning that people aren't making as much money on their government bonds. So they want to go to the share market because that's seen as a better way to make money. Now the bonds might have started their first impulsive wave up. Okay, meaning that this is potentially a safer place to make money backed by the government and not the share market. Okay, so the rates have made their first impulsive wave up, meaning they're likely to continue going up for quite some time. So this is just the bond yield and not the face value of your bond. Okay, so this is the coupon code that you're going to make off your bonds. So that might be seen as a lot more stable as the share market. So if your interest rates are going up, it's going to slow the economy right up if they're up for a long time, and your shares will take a very slow process in making any money there. What else did I want to say about that? I think that's about all I wanted to say about that there, about the share market in relation to interest rates. Take note of how this chart looks here. We come back to this fellow here, and it looks a lot like this, doesn't it?
100%, Marty. The 10-year treasury and this one.
Depression has set in. Now there's disbelief. Is this a sucker's rally?
Suckers rally.
So maybe if you put all this into context, I would be pretty cautious if you were going to invest very heavily on the shares, and always stick to your position size limits until we get some clearer information on what the next sort of moves are. One thing to consider, the biggest hedge against interest rates and inflation and such like that is your assets. So things like gold and silver, land, houses, and things like that. Okay, so assets are a hedge against this stuff here. And yeah, does anyone have any questions?
That was fantastic, Marty. Mind blowing. Yeah, very nice. Fantastic. Any questions to Marty? You have 1 minute before Kerry starts.
So remember Apple and Warren Buffett. And this has our big nearly 8% share of the NASDAQ. So keep a strong eye on this guy here. Maybe draw some important trend lines. And you also have this yearly pivot here to be mindful of as well. Anyway, if no one's got any questions, feel free to jump in, Kerry.
Thank you very much, Marty. Kerry, please. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Kerry.
Hey, I actually have a question. More just curiosity, but with the paradigm shift in that's on there.